There is complete and utter panic on Capitol Hill right now among MAGA Republicans. You can see MAGA Mike Johnson, the MAGA Speaker of the House, visibly pacing right now around the Capitol building. He is in utter panic as Donald Trump is crashing everything. He's crashing our markets right now as he's now imposed new tariffs against the world unlawfully after the Supreme Court struck down the previous tariff regime and declared him unlawful. We have our top generals, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is saying that America doesn't have the resources to invade Iran right now. There are glaring warnings there. You have the women's hockey team canceling their visit to the White House, and much more is going down. Let's just zoom in and see what's happening as MAGA Mike Johnson is in utter panic right now. So Johnson first said that he expected both the women's and men's gold medal hockey teams to attend the State of the Union and visit the White House. Well, the women's team then abruptly canceled, and they actually probably canceled before today. We know that when Donald Trump was speaking with Kash Patel and the men's hockey team after they won gold, Donald Trump said, I guess we're going to have to, in a very demeaning way, Donald Trump's like, I guess we're going to have to invite the women's team right now. I don't really want them there, but if we had to have the women's team there, if I don't bring them there, I'm probably going to get impeached. And then the men's team was laughing, so degrading and so demeaning to the incredible accomplishment of the women's hockey gold medal team. So the gold medal women winning U.S. women's hockey team declined their invitation to go to the White House and attend the State of the Union. Let me just show you this video right here. It's Kash Patel with the men's hockey team, and Donald Trump said what I just said. He said, and Kash Patel's like, I got it, boss. I effing got it, boss. I effing got it. Here's what Kash Patel said here. Remember when he was like drinking and chugging beers last night? How embarrassing that was? Here, play this clip.
It would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day. We'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay? But anyway, if you could work that out, I would be honored to have you. I'll introduce you to the whole...
I got it, boss. I got it.
Okay, you got it, Cash.
I'm on it.
Cash is doing it. I'm happy.
I'm fucking on it.
Congratulations.
Also, MAGA Mike Johnson is panicking as a result of the Supreme Court ruling and Trump now imposing these additional 15% tariffs on the rest of the world. Trump spiraling out of control and again, crashing our markets right now. Well, the Dow last was around 48,000. So, I guess now that it's 48,000, Pam Bondi can go and prosecute the pedos again. Despicable was her appearance before the House Judiciary Committee. Well, here's what we're learning as well. MAGA Mike Johnson said he doesn't think there would be much of an appetite for any legislation putting in place Donald Trump's new tariffs, which Trump claims to be invoking under the Trade Act of 1974, Section 122, though which is patently unlawful. Quote, I think it's going to be, a challenge, MAGA Mike says, to find consensus on any path forward on the tariffs on the legislative side. And so that is why I think you see so much attention on the executive side, the executive branch of what they're doing and how they're reacting to the ruling and all the rest. That's what you say. MAGA Mike also, this is being reported as well. And Carl Quintanilla says, but we were so damn close. The odds of Donald Trump's $2,000 tariff dividend to every American are effectively zero. Experts say, well, they were effectively zero when Donald Trump announced them because he's a total and utter fraud. The same way Donald Trump promised $5,000 Doge dividend checks, $2,000 tariff rebate checks, $2,000 Donald Trump said he's going to give every American to substitute for ripping away their health care and taking away the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Donald Trump lies about everything. By the way, here's MAGA Mike Johnson running through the halls of Congress right now, running through the halls of the Capitol building. We see him here being asked, are you going to call on MAGA Republican Congress member Gonzalez to resign? More information came out about the affair that he was having with one of his staffers who then purportedly died by suicide under very peculiar circumstances, which lots of people have many questions about, where she allegedly set herself on fire. And then Gonzalez denied the affair. Here's what MAGA Mike says. Let's play it.
Mr. Speaker, why should Tony Gonzalez resign given these very serious accusations?
There are serious accusations, and it must be taken seriously. And I've told him he's got to address that with his constituents, and he's in the process of doing that. Is my understanding. There's an investigation in the state of Texas on these matters, and has been going for some time. And the Office of Congressional Conduct has also, it's been reported. They've been looking at it. And all of that was news to me. But I think, as in every case like this, you have to allow the investigations to play out and all the facts to come out. I've been intellectually consistent about this. Whether you're talking about Republicans or Democrats, you have to let the system play out. If someone, I was against, for example, the expulsion of George Santos a while back, because he had been accused of a crime and indicted, but not found guilty. If the accusation of something is going to be the litmus test for someone being able to continue to serve in the House, you'll have a lot of people who would have to resign or be removed or expelled from Congress. So I think you got to allow this to play out. I think it is very serious. The allegations are clearly very serious, and Tony Gonzalez will address it. I think he will.
Does he deserve to win re-election? Does he deserve to win re-election?
See you later, guys.
And Donald Trump's poll numbers are crashing as well. Here's the latest CNN poll. Among independents, we see Donald Trump's polling plummet to now just 26% amongst independents. Donald Trump's polling taking amongst all groups pretty much. They're in the mid-20s right now as you look, whether it's at Latino voters, young voters, independent voters. He's in the mid-20s on all of those. Also, as MeidasTouch reported yesterday and now has been confirmed, the European Union Parliament freezing any further trade deals or ratifying trade deals with Donald Trump, especially as Trump now imposes these new 15% tariffs on the rest of the world. And also zooming in on Europe for a moment as well. In France, they are now formally banning the ambassador to France, the U.S. ambassador to France, Charles Kushner, Jared Kushner's dad, who previously pled guilty to multiple felonies, including witness tampering, whereby he arranged for prostitutes to set up his brother-in-law who was working with the feds against him for tax evasion. And then he was pardoned by Donald Trump in 2020. He became the U.S. ambassador to France. But the U.S. ambassador to France, Charles Kushner, has now been banned in France from all member meetings or meeting with any official from the French government because he refused to show up after being summoned by the French embassy. He and the United States embassy in France started attacking France and saying that leftist radicals are responsible for a murder of a right-wing extremist, which took place in France. And France said, stop meddling with our domestic issues. We don't need you to be saying what you expect of us to do. You are an ambassador. You are not allowed to have those types of communications threatening us. So France summoned Kushner. Kushner refused to show up. That was the second time he was summoned and refused to show up at all. And so now they have officially banned him right there. As I mentioned earlier in this video as well, the Pentagon's top general, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Kane, has now cautioned that the U.S. lacks the munitions and resources and support of allies to actually invade Iran, which is what Donald Trump wants to do. Breaking news from the Washington Post, the Pentagon's top general has cautioned President Trump from an attack on Iran, saying that shortfalls in critical munitions and a lack of support from our allies will add significant risk to the operation and to U.S. personnel. And as Carl Quintanilla says, a lack of support from allies doing some heavy lifting there. Nobody wants to support the United States at all, and the U.S. can't go it alone. We need military bases. We need things to refuel. We need people to help us with intelligence. Nobody wants to help the United States as Donald Trump has alienated everybody. Look, the capability is there, but the key difference is historically U.S. intentions in these instances were also there. U.S. intentions now require you to divine the brain of Donald Trump and Marco Rubio and maybe Stephen Miller and possibly Dan Kane, Mike Black reports. We see the markets crashing as well. And so what's happening with all of this taking place? Hegseth announces that he's killed more people off the coast of Venezuela. 3 more people were killed today by Hegseth as he keeps killing people on fishing boats. More crimes against humanity taking place there. Horrible, horrible indeed. And by the way, here's an oldie but a goodie, and I say that sarcastically, of course. This is when Donald Trump's casinos went bankrupt, and Donald Trump said, we're doing better than we ever did before, right as his casinos were going bankrupt. Typical Trump, bankrupting everything he touches. Here, let's play this clip right here.
This is such a big day for us. It's the New York Stock Exchange. It's going public, and we're really very happy about it. Well, I just think that the day is exciting, and I think that over a period of time, the day will become even more exciting. This is a very important day, and it's going to be a great day.
Atlantic City, a phenomenal year for you. Now, Atlantic City in general doing very well, but you in particular, the Plaza, Trump Plaza, up 14% so far, 9 months year to date. The Taj Mahal up 10%. What's bringing people back into Atlantic City?
Well, you know, Atlantic City was a little bit underrated as a jurisdiction a few years back, and all I did was made money with Atlantic City. It just kept coming in. Atlantic City is now considered the #1 jurisdiction, the hottest jurisdiction. We're doing more business in Atlantic City than the entire Las Vegas Strip, something very few people understand or know about. And as you know, the public company has Trump Plaza, which I believe broke its all-time record last week.
Why do you feel that your stock is being penalized? It's down about twice as much as the industry group.
Well, I think a number of reasons, but I think one is Atlantic City, and Atlantic City is either in favor or not in favor. At this moment, it's not in favor, but I think it's starting to get in favor again because the numbers have been very good. The wars have largely stopped. You know, last year we had a rough year because everybody was fighting. This year they're not fighting. And we have that happen in Atlantic City almost routinely every 4 years. There becomes some genius says, well, we're going to give away the shop and everyone else has to follow. We're making a tremendous cash flow. We've just finished almost a 5,000 car garage in Atlantic City. And we are just doing unbelievable business. We're doing better than we ever did before. We're doing much better as a company than when the stock came out at approximately 32. So it's a great opportunity for people and it's a great company.
It's not exactly the kind of 11 Donald Trump wants to roll in Atlantic City. His Trump hotels and casino empire have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection.
To the Donald we go. If he was a contestant on his own Apprentice show, he might have to fire himself.
Also, both Fox and Wall Street Journal going after Donald Trump. So Andy McCarthy, who is a Fox host, ripped Donald Trump a new one over the tantrum he's thrown at the United States Supreme Court. Fox host McCarthy says Trump's attack on the Supreme Court are an unmitigated disgrace. It's the plan to ignite some sort of January 6th style riot on these Supreme Court steps, this time while he can still pardon the rabble-rousers as he did with the Capitol riots. That's coming from a Fox host, folks. And then in the Wall Street Journal, their opinion section says the following: a government tariff refund bait and switch. Unless you're the importer of record, and maybe even then you won't get back a dime of the duty you paid. The government told federal courts in writing across multiple cases and stipulations that refunds would be available, automatic and assured. It made those representations to defeat petitions for emergency relief. The courts believed it. Yet another lie, another bait and switch by this despicable regime. You see MAGA Mike going around crazy right now, and we get it. This is bad times right now for the United States. Donald Trump is triggering an absolute collapse right now, folks. We're going to keep you posted every step of the way, but what a absolute unmitigated disaster. Hit subscribe. Let's hit that 6 million subscribers today.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.